U.S. supremacy comes to an end. Some time ago, the Polish magazine Polityka carried an interview of Norwegian mathematician and socio-political scientist Johan with the German newspaper under the title, "The American Empire Comes to an End in 2020." Johan stressed that the end of the American empire has already begun and mentioned the reasons. He said the United States is isolated in the world because of arbitrariness ignoring the international law, and the U.S. administration is drowning into the bog because of its aggressive war policy. The end of the United States is an inevitable reality, he said, and predicted that the American empire would collapse in 2020. Johan stressed that when he predicted demolition of the Berlin Wall and collapse of some countries in the 80s of the last century, people accused it as sophistry, but it turned out to be reality. Such predictions are made by political and public personages and analysts in many countries of the world. Their assertions are, in a nutshell, that the United States has signs of ruin, as those countries which had pursued world supremacy from the ancient to modern times showed their own logic end. It is proved by some facts. A number of cities went bankrupt one after another in California some time ago. In July alone, 3 cities went bankrupt and applied for protection. Los Angeles, called a super city in the United States, is also in crisis. The after effects of bankruptcy affected other states and cities, and as a result, signs of bankruptcy are seen in different states. According to CNN, the United States is internationally recognized as a country with most serious social inequality. Most of people are suffering from poverty, but only 1% of privileged and rich echelons take most of social wealth, which increases day by day. It intensifies polarization of the society and aggravates social contradictions. Not a few Americans are taking radical acts, complaining about the unjust policy of the authorities and social system. In recent years, too, a Christian militia organization called Houthi was detected and arrested during its preparations for anti-government war in the United States. For the purpose of making the United States a colony of the Christian Republic, they conducted military exercises for special operations of the regular army. They had planned to start a local war if time is mature. The question is that there are more than 120 organizations with such a tendency. The U.S. Act as superpower does not work on the international arena. A salient proof is the collapse of the U.S.-led coalition army in Afghanistan. The United States threatened or pleaded its allies, but not a few of them show a move to pull back their troops ahead of schedule. Many countries attempt to be on an equal footing with the United States. If not, they do not want to face it. The armed forces the United States regards as an important pillar of its world supremacy cannot keep the American empire from crumbling. The reckless military expenditure is throwing the United States into quagmire. The militarization of the economy snowballs the enormous debts of the United States and is driving the economy to catastrophe. The U.S. economy, considered by the U.S. authorities as an engine of the world economy, is now in crisis of bankruptcy. With the bankruptcy of large financial institutions, the United States lost its reputation, though it boasted of its world's greatest financial organs. U.S. dollars are rejected internationally. The crumbling of the position of dollars, a U.S. strategic pillar for world domination, precisely means an end of the United States. Facts clearly show that the supremacy of the United States, which acted as if it was the lord of the world, is coming to an end.